ask you. It's food related.
I will bring my A game.
In just a few seconds of this interaction, you know who has the respect and who doesn't. So let's talk about 5 basic rules of gaining respect. Most people say that confidence and respect is given to those who have body language that reflects it. And although some of this is true, your body language will betray you if your mind doesn't align with it. The reason disrespect hurts so much is because respect and self-esteem is a primal need. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you can see that it's a deeper need than physiological, safety, and love. What that means is it's even harder to get this than it is to get food, shelter, water, love, family, safety, housing. It's one of the hardest things to attain. But the good news is, once you do, it lasts a very long time. And we often respect people who are very confident. We're wired this way because from an evolutionary standpoint, we wouldn't know who to trust if they weren't confident in what they said. We're able to detect these tiny body language cues off confidence. And we're going to talk about that a lot more later. And if you want to know how to get respect when you're quiet, check out my other video here. In modern society, a lot of what we view as a threat to us is not actually a life-threatening situation, so much as a socially threatening situation. And that's why it hurts so much when we get disrespected. This fundamental need of ours isn't being met, and it's such a deep need that we have a hard time getting it back. That's why respect is so valued in our society, and that's why it hurts so much when you get disrespected. Sometimes action is required when someone violates your boundaries, but very often, violent action isn't necessary. And if you're struggling with your rage and outbursts, check out the Emotional RX program, where I give you the tools to handle your anger instantly. These tools help you de-escalate your anger from rage to logic so that you can think clearly and you don't take action that you can regret. For a free 10-day training, check out the link down. The first rule of getting respect is believing you'll be okay. The thought pattern behind someone who doesn't get respect is that they don't believe everything will be okay. They don't have the groundedness to evaluate every situation. They panic and stress out at the slightest inconvenience.
Oh no!
When somebody stresses out and panics at every situation, they're seen as a liability. That's why less respect is given to them. From a logical perspective, you want to think out the end game of your situation. Your actions result in a life-threatening situation or not. If not, you don't need to stress and panic. As far as the emotional aspect, you have to practice meditation and relaxation exercises. You can't stress out at every single thing. The next rule of getting respect is to have self-respect. We don't typically see self-respect, but what we do see are the end results of continuous self-disrespect. In other words, if somebody doesn't have self-respect, they don't respect themselves emotionally and physically. And we will see the results of that. For example, if somebody doesn't have the self-respect to take care of their own body, we'll see the results of that. In order to have self-respect, you have to find out what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. Find out what you can change and what you can't change. And whatever you can change for the better, try to make attempts to do so. As far as the emotional aspect of it, what you want to do is you want to practice self-love. And that's what it is. It's a practice. You have to do the exercises on a regular basis to strengthen the muscle of self-love. Because if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect other people to? The next rule of getting self-respect is to have boundaries. The thought pattern behind someone without boundaries is that they believe whatever they value is insufficient. They need to keep the peace at whatever the cost. Malcolm X has a quote, "A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything." Meaning that if you have no awareness of your own values, people will believe you have none and therefore are not worthy of respect. In order to counter this, you have to establish your set of values. Find out what are the 3 most important things to you are. This is the logical exercise that you would need to do. Because if you aren't aware of your values, how do you know when they're being violated? Now, there's already a strong emotional component built into this because these are your core values. If someone violates them, you get angry really quickly. So the key here is to not violently react whenever you get triggered by someone violating your values. For me, my values are respect, empowerment, and safety. What that means is that bullies, people with the victim mindset, and people who threaten other people's safety trigger me instantly. So when I see those values being violated, I will react instantly and have to hold back from taking action. The 4th rule of getting respect is to have the body language that reflects it. Someone without respectful body language believes that they have to get their message out as quickly as possible. One of the keys of respectful body language is speed. Someone without respectful body language believes that their message has to be transmitted quickly. One of the core beliefs is that they don't value their time as much as they value other people's time. So speed is essential here, but it doesn't mean that you slow down for everything. You only speed up when it's required. Otherwise, relax
off the accelerator.
Another key of respectful body language is eye contact. Holding eye contact helps build a connection. If you turn away too quickly, people aren't going to believe what you say. And if they don't believe what you say, they're not going to respect you. Another key of body language that's not covered is the masculinity and the femininity of the body language. Masculine body language has sharp, quick movements. On the other hand, feminine body language has more gentler, softer motion. If you want to gravitate towards the masculine energy, you want to use harder, sharper motion. On the other hand, if you want to have very feminine energy, you want to make sure you have the body language that reflects that. Graceful movements are more encouraged here. And the fifth rule of getting respect is to take action when necessary. And we covered some of it earlier. The mindset behind somebody who doesn't take action is that they don't believe their actions will make a difference, when in reality, any action makes a huge difference. The butterfly effect is that one tiny change in history has a wave of effects downstream. And although it's hard to prove it, it can be seen that tiny actions make a huge difference. If you want people to respect you, you have to take action when it's required and not take it when it's not required. Like in the previous rules, you need to practice the emotional component as well, which means you have to meditate and relax and practice that relaxation muscle so that you don't action when you don't need to. So those are the 5 rules of getting respect from other people. Which one of these do you struggle with the most? And as you can see, a lot of the actions required to get respect means you have to practice relaxation and quick assessment of a situation so that you know when to take action when required and know when to relax when you need to. I'm Dr. Tank. Never give up on yourself.